What is going on, guys? We are back for another DSP video. And my god, if you thought he broke down in the past, if you thought he had freakouts and meltdowns, you have not seen anything yet. Season 16 of the DSP show is absolutely out of control. The writers have gone crazy. So let's see how yesterday went. We start off with the pre-stream in chat. DSP. It's going to get up to the mid 70s Fahrenheit, which means the office will be about 90 at some point. Then Meatball asks if there's anything he can do. DSP. I turn on the AC, that's what, LOL. Still too early, especially because after today, it becomes in the 50s for a full week. With fluctuating temps, it makes no sense to put in AC yet. Now you ready for this, guys? The office faces towards the sun in the afternoon, and these homes were built to retain heat. So it becomes a literal hot box until the sun goes down. Then we have Nerd Brew, who shows this off, DSP cosplaying as Max Payne or Back Pain. And we have Kinda Sav. DSP just referred to himself as an old school, full-time businessman. I don't know any old school businessmen who stewed in rotten Zelda jammies all day. And of course, DSP played Street Fighter 6 the previous night, which means on the level 1 pre-stream, he has to attack Street Fighter 6 and the Cannon Brothers yet again, in another place. And again, we're lying that the Cannon Brothers suppressed Phil's whistleblowing of how bad netcode was, and how unfairly treated that Phil was treated by the FGC. And he was talking about how he was banned off the forums and message boards, because the Cannon Brothers had an agenda to sell rollback netcode to Capcom, and he was the one calling them out, saying how it was bad, and they wanted to suppress him because he was a whistleblower. He also went on to say, all the messages have been deleted, the site's down, there's no way to see any of it, so just trust me, and don't trust anyone else out there that say they have it, or if they've seen it, or blah blah blah. And we have that being said, to be clear, I'm sure everyone has cringy shit they've said in the past, but when DSP says, it doesn't matter what you can find archived on the internet, because I'm telling you like it is. That motivates a lot of people to find out what you're trying to hide. And that being said, says the same thing, and adds on, the fear of June's doc is doing a number on his mental state.
You found archived on the internet because a bunch of people who don't like me found negative archives. You can go fuck yourself and kiss my ass. I'm telling you like it is. You fucking buffoon.
And then Steve of the Bed has been watching the Dead Sea Scrolls, and he notices something. He puts a timestamp on here. I wonder if he still has those videos on an external drive. So this is from the message boards, I believe. DSP, you're not a top player. Do not say that every top player doesn't agree with console. Everyone here knows you dislike the cannons. Anyone remember the fuck cannon videos on your site? And odds are, you won't be at Evo again, you'll be at home posting updates. Just leave the site and let it be. As I recall, you were banned anyways. And then he highlights on here, anyone remember the fuck canon videos on your site? That'd be interesting if people actually find these videos. And we have Banana Jones. Apparently you can teleport all over the place and roll back netcode according to DSP. Then DSP started talking about Fightcade. How he's going to set it up. That's right, the entire stream was about setting it up, not playing the game. And you're going to handhold him throughout the whole thing. And you're going to give him money as well while you do it. However, he then found out that your IP address could be seen. And well, that started a whole different rant. And he talked about how people for 10 years been pushing me to do this. And nobody knew that it showed your IP address. Almost like you, Phil, you, not them, had 10 years to research it, 10 years to set it up, but no. And then he also went on to say that, oh, people have been pushing this for 10 years, it must have been the trolls just wanted my IP address, so they've been pushing it for 10 plus years.
10 years. Everyone yelled at me, I'm doing the wrong thing. Everyone uses Fightcade. Why don't you just use Fightcade? You're such an idiot. You're such a dumbass. You're such a loser. You don't do what everyone else does. You're not playing the best players because you're not using Fightcade. You should be using Fightcade. So now here we are, 10 years later. And I'm ready. I've been waiting. I got the time set around. Let's do it. Right? Oh, by the way, that exposes your IP address. Oh. You had to wait 10 years to fucking tell me that? Seriously, now I'm fucking pissed. I'm legit and very rightly pissed that you had to wait to the day that I scheduled it. Because everyone asked me for it for 10 fucking years. Now you're going to tell me, oh, your IP address gets exposed. It gets to the point where when people ask for shit and they start to unfairly treat me away, I'm just going to tell them, shut the fuck up. I don't want to hear you bitching. Because that's where the point we're getting to at this point. Like, people screaming so loudly that I'm doing it wrong, when in reality, I've always been doing it right, because there's no way that a streamer should be using Fightcade if it gives away your IP address. And I'm tired of it. I'm tired that because I'm Darkside Phil, I'm the brunt of the abuse. I get the one that get yelled at and called names and treated poorly because I'm Darkside Phil. That's really the only reason, right? If I was anyone else, it would have been like, all right, well, you're a streamer, you know, Fightcade's the best, but, you know, for me, it's like, no, fuck you, Phil, you piece of shit, right? You've been doing it wrong for 10 years. Why don't you just listen to us, right? Okay, well, then, I'm listening to you now. Let's do it. Oh, wait, actually, your IP just gets exposed. You should have never done this to begin with. See, now Swagonito says, well, streamers use Fightcade all day long. Avoid the puddle is one of them. How? If it gives away your IP address, as people are suggesting in the chat, how? Player Essence, please, please, please kiss my fucking ass and enjoy your permanent ban, you dumb piece of fucking shit. Seriously. Asshole. Why am I so angry? Because if you were told for 10 years that you're doing something wrong, for 10 years, you were told you're the one who's doing everything incorrectly, why don't you just listen to reason? And then the day you're actually going to make amends and change and try to do the thing that people have said this is the right thing to do, you get told, oh no, you can't do it anyway. How would you feel? It doesn't even matter that's Fightcade. This could have been anything, right?
And of course, there was reaction to this. In another place, this Fightcade rant really exposes how lazy DSP is about his business. Instead of doing any research himself, he's blaming the viewers for how it works. And we got Theo. Do this Fightcade segment exactly why I tell people nobody should try to help DSP. Dude asks people to clarify the IP address situation. They do. And he yells at them and insults them. But guys, DSP isn't negative or toxic. The trolls are. Then he went on a whole rant about how this messes up his schedule and he's pissed off. So his option tonight was gameplay or a chill with Phil. And we have poems here. Someone told Phil that Fightcade might give his IP address away. Now he's considered not doing it and throwing himself a pity party.
What do I do? Maybe I'll just sit here tonight and I'll just fucking sit back like this. I'll just be like, hey, I'm just gonna sit here. I'm just gonna sit on stream and do nothing. Right? I don't know what else. It's just ridiculous at this point. It really is. At this point, I'm just so flabbergasted. I'm just so resigned. It gets to the point where, like, you get... What is the word? Like, you get desensitized. Like, I shouldn't be upset. I shouldn't be surprised that for 10 years people gave me misinformation and yelled at me for that misinformation and acted like I was a villain or stupid or whatever, doing the wrong thing. You know, I guess I shouldn't expect to be treated with respect. I guess that's actually the best way to put it. I should not expect to be treated with any kind of respect. Whatever people tell me, 9 times out of 10, they're fucking with me. They're just, you know, any criticism of me actually isn't valid. It's just people trying to basically make fun of me just for the sake of making fun of me, right? I thought this was legit. I thought it's like, oh, people really haven't, Phil's been really missing out on playing old school fighters, right? He's really been missing out because he just doesn't listen, because he's stubborn, he's obstinate. And so after all these years, I get to a point where I actually have a situation where I have a PC that I can play Fightcade. Let's do it. I'm excited to do it. We have the time to do it. I made the time to do it. I want to set it up. I want to do it. And then the morning before I'm going to do it, you tell me it gives away my IP address. It only took 10 fucking years. Wow.
Now, DSP, I just want to say, if you want respect, it's a two-way street. You have to give respect to get respect. And when you treat people in the manner that you treat people, people are going to hate you. Why would they give you respect, Phil? And then he decided to show off his new animations. Of course, you have to pay for it. And here's one for the $30 animation. It's Phil's face on Chung-Li. What meaningful, robust content. Then we see this super chat from Jordan, who sounds a lot like BB Phil. Sorry, not trying to be pushy, but what if you emailed Fightcade support to get a guaranteed confirmation if it's safe or if they have safety measures and try to stream it again in the future? Maybe. And then you also call him a fucking idiot because there was no email to contact with. And then we have this video here where DSP in 2024 brings up Fred Fox. That is right. He's still coping so hard over Fightcade. And we have this from Shinko. Of course his dad's a troll. He fucking hit him with the cool story bro and sent him a picture of a fish.
It's tremendous to me. Really it is. It's tremendous to me that a whole 10 years, right? A whole 10 fucking years people basically lied to me. That's just impressive, right? You think that like 16 years as a content creator earned you something, like earned you the benefit of the doubt that people wouldn't be lying through their teeth at you for a decade about something? I guess not, though. I guess it means nothing, right? I guess that nothing in life actually has value anymore. Just, you know, it's Phil, so fuck him. Yeah, let's get him doxxed. Let's do it. Let's just keep fucking lying. Pretty impressive. I don't think, you know, it's hard. You know, that's got to be the longest running one then. If you think about it, like I was going to say that some of the longest running things people have done to mess with me would be like the catfishing, which lasted about 1.5 years of people having a fake identity online to pretend like they were someone they weren't, so that then they could like get into everyone's good graces, even befriend certain people in the chat, and then pretend they were someone else so they could become a mod, and then try to use that modship to get me in trouble or get me banned off of Twitch or whatever it might be. And it didn't work. And they tried that twice, by the way. That happened twice. The first time was more shocking. The second time, I purposely set it up so that if a moderator actually became like a hidden troll, it would affect nothing. And literally that's what happened. It affected absolutely nothing, which is great because I learned from my experience. But that was the longest one that I thought was about 1.5 years. 10 years is a pretty good run. That 10 fucking years, people suggested me to keep playing Fightcade, well knowing that it gives away your IP address. That's that's pretty impressive shit. Wow. I'm gonna have a conversation with my parents, see if they're secret trolls all along. Maybe they are. You know, I've known them longer than anyone else. Perhaps they're secret trolls at this rate, right? I mean, maybe my dad was Fred Fox all along. There you go. You never know. Oh. Who knows? Anyway, all right, I just gotta pee. I'm just gonna go pee. I'll be right back. And then we're gonna resume here and try to beat Placidus Axe hopefully quickly. And then move on, right? All right. No, it's not an AVGN reference. That Fred Fox was the leader of the SOK. That he did the AVGN reference, not me. Oh, the blimp every single time. Every single time that I played a retro fighting game on console, I was told you should just be playing it on Fightcade, you're an idiot. Like literally every time. It didn't matter which one it was, whether it was back in the day, the Street Fighter Third Strike Online or the Marvel vs. Capcom collection, I forget what it was called. And then after that, the Street Fighter 30th Anniversary collection, right? Or Ultra Street Fighter 2 on the Switch. And then later on, the one just, you know, about 1 year ago, Capcom Fighting Collection. Every single time that I played a classic Street Fighter game on console, I was told, you're doing it wrong, you should just be playing Fightcade. And literally not a single person in 10 years said it exposes your IP address. Not one. So there you go.
And this is why I call him the eternal victim, Phil Burnell. Everyone did everything wrong, he did everything correct. Even his parents possibly being trolls in his mind. Imagine how deluded and detached from reality you are when you think that. Then DSP started playing Elden Ring, boring as fuck, magic run, blah blah blah. I put this out, this sums up his entire Elden Ring magic run. I love it when DSP is standing in front of an enemy that is hidden him. Tries to heal as the enemy is hidden him, not moving, then complains that the heal doesn't work, lol. So at first DSP said possibly we can do some gameplay or some Q&A. So looks like. So DSP decided on impromptu chill stream / possible Game Pass night. Spoilers, there was no Game Pass, there was no gameplay. It's just a ranting of an old broken down man. Oh, so where do we start with this? This was a hell of a night. So first off, remember earlier when he called someone a fucking idiot and banned him? Doesn't know what he's talking about? Well, he's trying to take that back because apparently he got a message in between the streams where the guy said, "How dare you, I want an apology, you treated me horribly." And well, we got this from Phil.
I got an email from someone who was like, "I'm so upset with you because you attacked me today on the podcast and you insulted me and I want an apology." And I was like, I'm reading the message, right? And I'm looking and I'm like, that literally didn't happen. Like, I think what happened was someone was being very stupid in the chat at one point about like being a jerk to me. And I responded to them, but I didn't say a name. And someone else must have misconstrued it as I was singling them out in the chat. The thing is, this person was not moderated. I did not call them out by name. Somehow they 100% misunderstood who I was talking to. So I'm just going to say this to anyone who attends my content or my streams. This is something that I should air out. Basically, if you think that I'm directly addressing you, you should probably ask me and make sure that I am. But the truth is that usually if I am addressing someone directly, like a person directly in the chat, I will tell you, like, you're messing around, you know, don't do that, or I will call you out, I will moderate. I'm not in general just attacking people for no reason in my chat. They're always doing something stupid that allows me to then have to basically do something about it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, like, someone completely misunderstood or misconstrued what happened and took it as a personal insult. I mean, obviously, I apologize to whoever that person is if they actually thought I was insulting them. I wasn't talking to them at all. In fact, I don't even know what they said in chat because I was talking totally to somebody else. So, but be careful. You got to be careful about this, guys. And here's why. I'm one person. You are many, right? Right now, we have a chat of hundreds of people. I do my best to talk with you and have conversation or whatever, but I can't basically be perfect all the time and be clear exactly who I'm addressing. Right now, I'm talking to everyone generally, right? Don't take it to heart. If I say something on stream and you get upset, did he say that to me? Did I? Well, if I did, I would have said your name and I would have moderated you if I felt that you broke the chat rules. If I didn't do that, then I wasn't talking.
I love how detached from reality he is. Just a few hours earlier, he yelled at this person, banned them, called them a fucking idiot. And now it's, oh, it never happened, I don't know what you're talking about. And then at the end there, the way he spoke to people, don't take it personal, all that stuff. Sound like an abusive husband. You made me do this. Don't piss me off. Don't take it personal. Then someone gave Phil money and asked him to stream mobile games. He went on to say that most mobile games are not a narrative-based game, so we can't play it. Plus all the bullshit rumors about WWE champions and all that stuff. Poem's future. DSP can't do mobile game content on his channel because he's worried about his connection and affiliation to WWE. Good Chemicals adds on to that. My highlight of yesterday's episode admits he can't talk wrestling or mobile games because he will let it slip that he spends his home value on game currency.
There's a couple things to discuss here. Number one, obviously, there's an incredibly stupid controversy around me in mobile games that, you know, I don't even have to talk about it anymore because it's so stupid and old and dumb. But Obviously, if I were to try to make any mobile game content, immediately my detractors would be all over it, trying to micro-analyze every single piece of everything possible, right? To try to get some kind of weird evidence or some kind of shit, you know. And, by the way, I'm just going to ban a couple people right now. Hold on, let me handle it. Okay. So, yeah. So, that's number one. Just the if you even say mobile games near me, it's like the drama squad shows up, correct? They come charging in. So number one, I would be very deterred from ever doing anything with mobile games. Much like with pro wrestling as well, it's the same deal, okay?
Then DSP went on to give people advice about drinking. That is right, the recovered alcoholic Philip Burnell. He went on to say, don't drink if you're angry because it makes it worse. That is right, Phil Burnell is now giving advice on drinking.
And one thing, very important, when you are upset about something, never drink. I'm going to give everyone some really good advice. If you're stressed and you want stress relief, by all means drink. But if you're actually legitimately angry about something, do not drink. That's my advice to you, because I've found that sometimes drinking will alleviate that, but sometimes it can actually accentuate the anger, and then you start lashing out and doing things that are not good. So as a 42-year-old adult who has drank a lot in his life, I'll just give you a word of warning to the younger people out there. Please do not drink when you're angry. It could turn out bad for you and the people around you unintentionally. Even if you don't, you're not intending to lash out at others. Remember, when you drink, your inhibitions go away. And so you might actually be nasty to someone you don't intend to be nasty to, and that's not fair to them, right? And to yourself. Because then when you sober up, you might be pretty upset that you were nasty to someone for no good reason. And now you got to live with the repercussions of your bad actions, right?
It's quite funny when he says, don't drink when you're angry, but you can drink when you're stressed out. Now, am I wrong or not, but doesn't Phil always talk about being stressed out? So by his logic, he's always drinking. Just saying. Then we have this chat message from Player Essence. Bruh, stop playing the victim all day. And this is where the night starts to get really crazy.
Player Essence, please, please, please kiss my fucking ass and enjoy your permanent ban, you dumb piece of fucking shit. Seriously. Fuck off. Asshole.
Then, Phil admits he's an e-beggar, that he e-begs. However, it's not his fault, dudes. It's the trolls. They ruin everything and he has to beg. There's no other way, dudes. If it wasn't for the trolls, he would be good and secure and have all the money in the world and be a million YouTube subscriber channel. So we have poems. You make Phil beg. You make Phil a meme. You angry at him for no reason. You big dumb.
You created the problem with the level of harassment you did against me, and then you complained about the consequences of the problem. Your consequences created actions for me that I couldn't avoid, and now I'm living with those repercussions of your actions, and I'm just trying to make a living, but you're not happy with that. But you created the situation. You're fucking...
And we have Mr. Ludacris. DSP says his e-begging / scamming people is the consequences the trolls have to pay for harassing him. This level of stupidity is fucking baffling. I'm definitely making a video on this, and I know I'm gonna be extra fucking angry. Then he went on to say how detractors have this meme that only 2 people support him. Only Iced Coffee and Planet Jeff. So we have this from Poems. DSP has created a made-up narrative that detractors are saying that only OIC and Planet Jeff are tipping him to counter people noticing and commenting that he has been propped up by whales for years. He's rambling away about this for 15 minutes. And we have JG Win. He loves to lie about the situation. No one says there are 2 folks alone. It's about 8 whales and a dwindling number of dolphins, which would also explain the massive purge in his super chat revenue year after year. And then I pointed this out. Interesting when he talked about detractor meme. He's only supported by 2 people. He said only Iced Coffee and Planet Jeff. He didn't say 1 Minute Man. Then went on to talk about supporters that have left in the past. He said 1 Minute Man and others. Then we have Banana Jones with a quote from Phil. If you think I'm mostly supported by OIC and Planet Jeff, you need to literally get checked into the psych ward. New detractor meme. Then he went on to say how he has thousands of supporters and fans, but they're all here for different things: fighting games, FPS, platformers, racing, stuff like that. And I quote again from Banana, "I have tons of fans, likely thousands." And he went all over the place, absolutely going crazy. Dick Stroke and Phil vlogs. A man whose only friend is his cat, and even his wife hates him enough to not come on the stream, is now telling people to get friends. Wow, dude. Nothing about this is chill. Then Duty puts this out. Did Phil just have a mini stroke and watch his mouth, watch his tongue?
Old school 90s RPGs. You guys don't. Alright? I know you don't. You don't have an affinity for them. When I play them, half my audience says, "Nah, I'm not coming to those streams. It sucks. And it's boring. I don't want to see Phil play that." And then they don't come by. And that's okay. Come by and watch me play what you like, right? Whatever you like. But I know I have an affinity for them. So if I'm going to play it, I know I'm going to get a much smaller audience. And it's really half for me and half for a very small audience, right? I have no desire to play sports. I'm just not attracted to sports like at all. When I was a kid, I liked baseball. And then I liked professional football in the 2000s. I haven't watched sports actively since the late 2000s. So I just don't care. You know what I'm saying? I just don't. I don't think anything's going to make me care. So, you know, every once in a while I do play a sports game. I've played some of the NBA 2K games. I played at least one, if not two NHL games. I played Madden a couple years. And, it, you know, every once in a while, just for variety, I'll buy one. Or get one on Game Pass and pop it in and just try it, right? But it's not anything that has longevity. I don't get hooked on it because, again, I don't really like sports. So for me, it's kind of like, it's not gonna have any lasting value to me. Although during my Super Bowl event, I actually commented on a sim to match the Super Bowl, and it actually was pretty epic, right? The match was close. It was fun to comment on that sim. But case in point, did it do well? No, it didn't. The video didn't even do well on the channel. It got like 1,000 views. That was it. No one really cared. It wasn't a big deal. So there you go. Oh yes, I've played MLBs over the years as well because they've been on Game Pass.
Now also keep in mind, this guy says he doesn't like sports. He doesn't want anything to do with it. But also has a Super Bowl event for the last 2 years. Then of course, when he starts to get money, DSP gets cocky and talks about how successful he is. DSP is bragging how successful and trolls are weebs. Okay, DSP, I'll remember this when you get slow streams again, because you're successful. And then he was talking about how he's been here 16 years because he knows what he's doing, and people should give him more respect. Then we have this from Poems. DSP rambles about detractor narratives while not realizing he's actually admitted to being propped up by whales.
They basically have manufactured a narrative to try to justify their actions. So their narrative is this crazy. Just think about this. How nuts this is. And by the way, the blimp, I still have not I don't see anything about your tip yet. I'll keep my eyes peeled. To this day, my trolls slash detractors slash whatever you want to call them, they literally say the following. You ready for this? Phil really only has like 2 or 3 people who support it. That's it. There's like 2 or 3 people who like his content. And they come back and they just keep supporting him by doing everything. Now, they do it under a variety and vast network of different names and identities, but they're all exactly the same person, right? So, Only Iced Coffee and Planet Jeff are responsible for 99% of the support I've received in the last 10 years. Or some insane thing. They actually say that, right? And listen, there are people who have come and gone who have been very large contributors to my content and have spoken up and become notable in the community and stuff like that. So it could be understandable when you had someone like Only Iced Coffee, who at one point was doing tips and gifted memberships and everything for a long time. Or Planet Jeff, who way back in the day was the person who gave me my biggest tips. It was actually Planet Jeff who came in here and gave me like a $2,000 tip one day. Okay? So when you have those kind of people who come by and they do those contributions, people, oh, I remember that, I remember that. But in reality, the truth is, and this is just like anything in life, all right? Not everyone stays a fan of stuff forever. And not everyone sticks around and supports forever. There's people who go through different phases of their life, different parts of their times of their life. You know, I've had people who started off as supporters, stopped watching my content for the longest time, came back 10 years later, said, oh, I'm watching you again, and supported again. You know? Vice versa, I've had people who, like, never could support back in the day, and now they come back 10 years later, they're like, so just so you know, I used to watch it, you know, in 2011. I loved your stuff. It's awesome to see you continue on in 2024. Good on ya. Here's some support, right? So that's the thing. Like, these people, I say it like this, in life, it's a revolving door. You're not going to be popular all the time with everyone, but you're going to have people from different times that are going to be coming in and out of your life, as supporters, as fans, as viewers, as people who we talk to every day on the streams, and that's fine. That's to be expected. You know, when I was younger, I was the biggest fan of the Angry Video Game Nerd and the Nostalgia Critic, and then when I became a YouTuber, I stopped watching all of their stuff entirely. I, every once in a while, go back and watch some more of their stuff, and I either like it or I really dislike it. It depends, you know, things change in time, but that's just life, right? So the fact that there are people, all right, who essentially have been there for me during times when I really needed help, and they helped me, is amazing, right? It's so cool. But I don't have two people who support me. The whole reason that I have been able to be successful for 16 years is because of the reasons I've already described tonight. I'm a variety content creator. I'm always playing different things. So you have different people from different, you know, interest levels. I like a fighting game. I like a shooter. I like an RPG. I like a, you know, this or that. And they come by at different times and they all like it. And they, every once in a while, they toss a few bucks here. They support here, right? And that's great. That formula works. That allows me to appeal to a wider audience than most other creators who are only hyper-focused part about it. It's always been this big group effort. I mean, I remember when I started on Patreon years ago, I was like, listen, $1 a month from a bunch of people is more effective than $100 a month from a couple people. Really. It would add up better and bigger in that way. So, why do these people not believe that I have people who actually like my content? Because that breaks their narrative. Their narrative is, actually, I'm some kind of a scam artist jerk who doesn't make anything meaningful to anyone. I'm somehow using these ridiculous abilities, these mind-controlling abilities, to come through the internet and grasp onto people and grab their wallets and rip their wallets out of their pockets and toss their money my way. I want you to think of how ludicrous that sounds. All I'm doing is sitting around doing a podcast, doing playing a game, hanging out with you guys, talking like tonight. That's all I'm doing. Tonight, did I ask for anything? Look at the support. I didn't say a word. We're just chilling. I was explaining why I can't play Fightcade. That's all. That's it. And look, people like me. People like my content. They want more of it. So they support it. People realize that the more that they support, the more consistent the content can be. You know, no interruptions, no problems. I think I've shown over the last couple of years my willingness to improve, to spend some money to actually improve the setup or do things that are different. You know what I'm saying? I haven't gotten a new PC yet. That's probably the next major thing. But outside of that, you know, take a look. People like who I am and what I do. But their narrative is so hyper-focused on making me look like a horrible villain. That's how they make their videos. That's how they do their streams. If the story doesn't fit the narrative, all of a sudden they look like assholes, right? Wait a minute. So we're making fun of someone who legit has a fan base who likes him, who doesn't make toxic content that's harmful, and he gets support because people genuinely find entertainment out of what he does, and that's why they want to see to continue, so they support it. No, their narrative is, oh, there's two guys out there who are rich, and they're nutty, and they just keep throwing money at Phil nonstop, and because of those two people, it's the only reason why Phil can ever be successful. First of all, I was successful before those two people even existed as part of my content. You understand? I had a fan base. One of the reasons why I am still pertinent is because I've been around for 16 years. True, if I just started 5 years ago, I probably wouldn't be pertinent anymore, but now I'm a meme. I'm literally known on the internet as the guy who doesn't give up and will be around forever and outlives everything, right? And it may be inexplicable because I'm a small-time guy and no one really, you know, is in love with my stuff in the mainstream, but still people are like, damn, he perseveres. You know what I'm saying? So it's a fascinating thing. But again, the detractor rationale is to always belittle, downgrade, straw man, right? The whole OIC and Planet Jeff's straw man argument is ridiculous. Do you really think that 2 people are responsible for all of my income? No, that's an insane thought. To even say that is nutty and crazy and stupid. But that's what they propagate. And their community is so dumb and gullible. They believe it. They actually believe that. They believe that, no exaggeration, that all these people that have come and gone over the years, you know, 1 Minute Man, the person who gifted the ridiculous amount of tier 3 stubs over on Twitch when I was there. I can't remember who that was at this point. Remember that? There was the month where someone came by and gave like a ridiculous amount of tier 3 stubs over there, and it insanely boosted the channel over there. That Planet Jeff with the big tips that he's done, the Only Iced Coffee with his contributions, you know, that all these people are all exactly the same person. They actually believe that. They're that wildly stupid.
You can tell how far up his ass his head is, because he thinks he's known on the internet as the guy who doesn't give up, that he perseveres over everything. No, Phil, you're known as the guy who jerked off on stream. And we got Phil Collins. Interesting that DSP lumped 1 Minute Man in with supporters that come and go tonight. That guy has never gone anywhere. So, is he gone now? Is that why he was so unhinged all day? Then we have the real DSP. His victim segment worked. He went from poor me to prolific YouTuber, and the money buff is active. I hope this gaslights him into dropping gaming. Then Duty puts this out. So Phil, are you saying that Subaru Man never beat Cat?
And have a pina colada or something, right? Or a Mai Tai. Like, I'm ready. Okay, let's start. I received an $8 tip. Hold on. Once again, here's another one of their insane detractor memes. See this? Here it is. Another thing that's a complete falsehood. But again, the other thing. I'm sorry that I have to bring this up, but I talked with my wife about it. I want to get this out in the open. People say that I'm some kind of a horrible woman abuser, and basically I groom these women and I bring them into my, to my personal life. My wife and I met online, casually talking for a few months before we ever started dating or anything like that. Okay. Basically, she was in a really bad place in her life, an abusive relationship. She got out of that relationship, and once she did, then we started talking a little bit more romantically, and then things pursued. People made stuff up and said that I basically stole her from her ex and that he's a victim. It's funny, because when you look on the internet, they will find all this public information about me and my personal life. They'll find my bankruptcy. They'll find all these statements. Did you ever find the restraining order that she had against her ex because he was hitting her? Right? But, make him look like a good guy on the internet, right? Which is what they've done. My detractors have actually done this. They've gone into her personal life with her family. She has nothing to do with me or my content. Good. But again, this has to be true for them to be justified in the things that they say and do. Do you understand? So that has to be true, which is not. This is another stupid detractor meme. Hold on. Those of you who are watching on demand can't see it. It's just another one of these stupid, fake member bomb bullshit things. Here we go. Okay. Done. Fixed. Okay. But again, that is their narrative.
Then he went on to say that detractors are only going after him because they want money. And then he gave him a challenge. Challenged them to, for 1 month, demonetize their channel, not make any money on it. And he said he's made this challenge in the past. No, the challenge in the past was to leave him alone for 1 month. Now, of course, what Phil believes is all the views that detractors get, those are his views. He demands those views. That's why he goes after people. And he demands that that money that detractors make is his money. He deserves it. He's entitled to it. When he's just a douchebag. So Duty puts this out. Hey Phil, you dare me to demonetize my content for 2 weeks? I'll do you one better. Show your WWE Champions account, prove you're not down from the rafters, and I'll quit detracting. Deal?
and they rationalize bad behavior towards someone that's targeted as a means to not address their own shortcomings. Exactly. I've always said this too. Even if everything they've ever said about me was true, which 99% of it isn't. Some of it is because I am a flawed human, and I've made mistakes over the years, and I've changed for the better. I feel like the last 7 years of my life have been an epiphany where I've turned everything around, and I'm a much better person now, correct? But even if everything they've said is true about me, am I still the devil? None of the things that I've done that they're claiming are real crimes or anything like that. It's just, oh, some bad behaviors that we don't like, right? And so if you don't like the bad behaviors you accuse me of, go away. Why do you still stalk me every day? Why are you still watching, right? Because you benefit from it, because you make money on it. That's why. If there was no money, there'd be no detractor community. I stand by that. Right now, I'll prove the point. You ready? Right now, to prove the point, I dare every one of these idiots, the memologies, the duty streams, the restreamers, all of them, demonetize your content for a whole month. Right now. Do it. Be men. Be real men. And demonetize your content for a month and prove that you actually do it because you have a reason to do it. Because you feel like you're doing something good, a service, instead of we're just doing it to make money. I fucking dare you to demonetize your content for a month. You won't do it. Because you do it for money. That's why you make up the stuff to begin with. You're fucking full of shit. You have no actual morality. You have no leg to stand on. Nothing. You're wastes of life. Not a single one. I already did this before. I did this a couple years ago too. I said the same thing. Never worked. They will never do it. Because the only reason that they do it was for the dollars to begin with. Right? So. Enough of that. Anyway, thank you, everyone. I think I'm ready to adjourn.
And Poems sums up the day. Starts off the day crying about how shit his life is for 3 hours. Ends the night bragging about all the money he makes everywhere and telling people off like the biggest Chad of them all. 2 days from now, he'll be saying how he's just a little guy and he struggles to get by. We got Phil Collins. Sorry. Phil Collins. He's ending his 2-hour rant about detractors by saying he stopped paying attention to what they say 5 years ago. Yeah, sounds like it, Phil. And then DSP decided to upload the videos with amazing titles. So the first one was Fightcade is a no-go, chill vibes, and new animations. That's right, he talked about his paid animations in his title for the video. Then part 2, games, coffee, support, and live detractor roasted. Trust me, Phil, the only thing that got roasted was you roasting yourself. Of course, this whole thing, this whole night stream was about reinforcing the cult. Because they know Planet Jeff, 1 Minute Man got doxxed. He's probably gone or under a new sock. And it could happen to any one of them. And this is him reaffirming, don't you leave, don't you say anything, you're part of this cult, I demand tribute. And of course, whenever something big happens, there's some sort of drama, someone leaves, he always gets wailed out. Because they want to show that they're in it for the long run. So if you guys like that, click that like, share the video, leave a comment below, hit subscribe to my other channels on the details of the end cards. And as always, I love each and every one of you. Hope you're all safe, healthy, and happy. Peace and love.